What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Slam Nest Podcast. I'm your host, Superhero Joe, joined by my devilishly handsome co-host, Eric, a.k.a. the Ekis Cult Man, a.k.a. the man with the shiny knees. And today, we have another special guest. Dead Vectors is here. We've talked about it for the last 2 or 3 episodes that we were going to get them in here. We finally got them in here. We have Aaron and Kenny. If I got that right. Cool. I don't want to mess up anybody's name. Welcome, guys. How y'all doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I am tired. My 1-year-old kept me up all night last night. I am dying.
Oh man,
That's all right.
Busy weekend.
Yeah, we tried to take her Easter egg hunting yesterday, and the little kids kept snatching all her eggs, and I wanted to fight some random kids. And
oh no,
I'm still mentally recovering from that. But anyway, Dead Vectors is here. I'm excited. I've known about you guys for a hot minute. I think I had some stuff posted on my Instagram a while ago doing a reaction. I think I had some stuff on my YouTube channel as well. And I love the crazy, chaotic, heavy shit, man. And you guys bring it. And I know Eric's a big fan. Eric's been playing Apex with Kenny, and the chemistry is all there. It's like everything is kind of coming full circle. But yeah, I'm really excited to have you guys on. I mean, you know, what's been up? What's been going on in the Dead Vectors universe?
Well, we haven't really done anything for a few months now, so this is kind of weird.
feels like a year.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, compared to what happened last year.
Oh yeah.
Last year we were constantly hanging out, writing and recording and stuff, and would like have like a week off before we started talking about the next thing. And we have not done basically anything for 3 months straight now until like today.
It feels like even longer than that. Just because last year we were like so used to being on the grind.
I came over to your place like at least once a week.
Yeah.
So
just putting in some work.
You got a new studio, so it's been kind of on hold just because we're, you know, waiting on everything to be set up. So
I understand that. Yeah.
Just as a refresher for anybody that doesn't know, how much stuff and how often did you put stuff out last year?
Almost 60 songs.
It was,
wow.
It was 53 songs.
53. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
And we have 59 now, but last year was 53.
Every month we did a release. We'd release it at the last day of the month. So I would spend like the first 2 weeks of the month creating all the music. We'd like scramble to do vocals when I was done just to meet the deadline before we could upload it. And then that was the process every month.
It was more of like a writing, like more fun, like challenge for us. Yeah. It wasn't like we were like, let's make as much music as possible because we absolutely have to.
I was going to be my next question. It was like, why did y'all do it all like that?
Well,
I know why.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
He hit me up December of like, what was it? 2020. And he's like, yo.
2020.
Yeah. They're like, let's make a fuck ton of music. He wanted to do a song every week of the year, and at that point in time I was like, that's crazy, dude. That's 52 songs. There's literally no way. And then we ended up doing
try me.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. Yeah, I've asked you the question, Kenny, but Aaron as well. Are you aliens? Kenny said yes. Yeah. He's got 14 fingers. What else you got going on, Kenny? There's something else.
Oh, there's too many things to count, bro.
It's just insane. It's so impressive.
So wild. And I, going back and looking at like some of the top videos I've seen on like YouTube and stuff that pop up, you maybe don't get a full sense of the scale, but when you tell me 60 something songs, god damn,
last year alone was like, I think 3 hours and 15 minutes worth of material.
Holy shit.
It's a while.
And I think it's that. I know it's over 3 hours. I remember as soon as we dropped Colossal, I was like, we've officially broken the 3 hour mark.
Jeez.
It's like, it's cool now going back and like seeing all the things on Spotify, like all in a row, just listening to them.
Yeah. I love how everything's like wildly different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's
that we decided to just do random shit.
I want to get into that at some point, but I kind of want to start with the beginning. So, where did you guys meet? Has it always just been something that you two have y'all been friends forever? How did that whole process start? Was it the whole December thing? Like, hey, let's make all this music.
I think it was 2019, like January, February, something like that.
Early 2019.
I randomly found his page. I think I actually found it through Pathogen because they were recording with you. And I heard a crazy riff off of Collective Impulse. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. So I had your Instagram. And then one day I saw you post something and I thought it was super sick. So I hit him up for writing stuff because I was like completely done with music. I was so tired of trying.
So I offer like a songwriting service. So if you're a vocalist, you can hire me to write music for you.
Okay.
So that's what Kenny did. He started Dead Vectors. It's just him doing vocals. he would hire me to create a few songs in the beginning, and like we just became very close during the process of Kenny recording vocals at my studio, and like over time we just like decided to do what we did last year.
Because
I love
we
it.
did multiple DV releases by the point we decided to do last year. Excuse me, last year. At the same time, I had recorded the Pathogen album with you, so I was at his place all the time. So we ended up just kind of becoming mega homies at that point, and then we decided to join forces.
Yeah.
And that happened last year. That was us just being like, "Fuck it, let's just jam and like see what we can do."
Mm-hmm.
Have y'all?
So where did that
Okay, go
where did
ahead.
that
Eric.
name come from? Yeah, sorry, Joe. I want to know where the name came from. I've always been curious, like Dead Vectors. Who came up with that? I guess you, Kenny, right? Because you said that you were doing this before.
So before Dead Vectors, I tried like 1,000 other projects. I've been to like a bunch of studios, and like everything just like died on the spot. And I was so sick of like wasting my time trying to start music with people and it going nowhere. So I did my own solo project, which ended up actually being a split vocally with my friend Mitch. But that project was called Voyager, and there's a song that I wrote on the only EP we ever released. It was called Vector, and the definition is like measurement of magnitude and direction. And at that time, my brother just moved to Arizona. He got a super awesome job. You know, he was living with his girlfriend. Life was good for him, and he's like one of my closest homies. So I wrote a song for him, basically about him killing it in life. And I used Vector as like a metaphor for him, like just like, you know, like a measurement of magnitude and direction. Like he's going somewhere, and he's like, it's like kind of like he's just doing his thing, and he's like killing it in life. That was like the metaphor.
I love that.
And that was like my favorite song I had ever written.
That's
And
deep.
After Voyager practically went nowhere, I was just about to quit music, and that's when I found his page, and his shit was so goddamn heavy. I was just in the mood to just destroy stuff. So I wanted to come up with a name that was literally just like the worst of the worst. And so I just kind of flipped my favorite song I wrote, and instead of it being like a metaphor for being like going somewhere and like doing good and stuff like that, it's more of like a decline and just like a spiral into like nothing.
I love that.
So
Man, that's fucking sick.
Yeah, Dead Vectors is kind of like the lack of motivation and like getting places in life.
It's interesting.
So,
It's so
yeah, that
interesting.
makes
Exactly what we're doing. Look at how we've gone nowhere.
Yeah, that makes me feel so stupid. I named my solo project after a really pissed off ape from a movie.
Koba.
That's it.
I love it though. Koba's sick.
I do
It's
too.
just short and simple.
I
but
try
yeah,
to give
I mean,
him
when
some
it-
credit. He's too modest. He's like, nah, man, it's whatever. But his music's really fucking good. I showed Tave, my wife, the latest music video you just dropped, and she was like, "That's him. That's Eric, the one that makes all the masks. This shit hard." I'm just-
You got,
Yeah, I gotta
go.
check it out.
you gotta check it out. It's really, really sick.
What's
I love it.
I don't even know. And that was another
Different
question.
things.
Yeah, and that was another question I was going to ask you guys too, because there's so many elements of different subgenres in your guys' music. Like you don't have an EP, I think, that sounds the same as you can't compare it to another piece of work that you've done. So when somebody asks you, like you just asked me, like how would you describe your sound to somebody? I mean, I guess we can all be real and just say in the metal genre, because if someone comes up to you who doesn't listen to heavy music or extreme music, whatever you want to call it, you just be like, it's metal.
Yeah.
But for somebody who's a little bit more involved and invested in the genre, how do you explain your guys' sound?
I don't really know.
I, you know,
How do you-
people ask me, like a few people ask me, and I end up just kind of just resulting with deathcore.
I think like the answer is
I
just
can
like
see
a
that.
long explanation. There's no like
Yeah,
That's fair.
deathcore, metalcore, it's Thal, it's Gen, it's
melodic.
There's a lot of bands like that where you're like, I don't know what I do,
it's
man.
Hardcore, it's beatdown.
It's like
you know,
it's whatever we want to be in that
imagine
moment.
every genre.
I love
No,
that
that's-
though.
Yeah, that's so like, and
I
to
don't,
have
I
the
don't like
go ahead.
sticking to
Sorry.
one. I don't like sticking to one thing. It's boring for me. I
No,
was
I-
in a band that did that, a deathcore band.
Is there
Um,
some styles that are more challenging to write with than others? Like you said, like beatdown, like deathcore, like transitioning to that to something else. Is there something that presents more of a challenge than others?
I think I don't know, man.
We're hitting you with the deep questions.
I feel
This
like
is what
every-
we do
every
on the
time-
podcast.
you've had like difficult times like writing. Like it was Depths of Self, so you had a difficult time getting through it, but it wasn't difficult writing it. It was just a lot on your plate. I don't know if like any particular one was a difficult process to write.
I've never really had a hard time writing music. I think that's why I do it like as my job, like a hired songwriter. There were times where I had a harder time getting through that specific project. I think because, especially last year, like I would get burnt out very quickly because of all the music I was writing. I would say maybe the hardest style is maybe the melodic stuff because I like to think it through a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
Like the beatdown stuff, I can just like, that's one flow. I can do the song in 20 minutes.
Dude, we wrote the song Underworld in less than 2 hours.
Oh,
Front
shit.
to back. I came in, I was like, Aaron, I want to start a song that's
You wrote that.
and then we just fucking just went, and within 2 hours we're like, all right, let's start vocals.
Like,
So hold on.
the
Aaron,
heavy,
like-
angry ones are the ones that are
The
easy to
super
write.
dumb ones are absolutely dummy. Like, moral
It's
of
the
the
best.
story, if you have to like, I don't know, I feel like pretty shit you have to really think about. You can't, well, I mean, you can just like wing it and you could totally make something sick, but I feel like we definitely tried a lot harder in terms of making like the Depths of Self.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, Aaron, because you said you know you're a hired songwriter as well. Were you working simultaneously with other people and projects and stuff like that throughout this past year when you were releasing something every fucking month?
Yep. So I would do Dead Vectors as much as I could for the first 2 weeks of every month, and then the rest of the month I would scramble to like write music for my other clients.
Yeah, dude, you're not human.
I love it.
So, dude,
You're not human.
You work too damn hard.
I've never been more burnt out in my life in December.
I fucking bet, dude.
I was not okay at the end, really.
Oh my god.
So to piggyback off
I feel
that,
bad.
I want to know,
feel
like, what
bad
did you
'cause-
do with all that? Like, how did you combat that, like, burnout? Because everyone handles it differently.
Dude, I didn't, honestly. Like I'm glad we didn't do the same thing this year because like I took the time off these 3 months to like kind of chill out and like have more balance. But like towards the end there, like there was no like I had no good system of figuring out when to like take a break from the music because I literally couldn't because we had this Dead Vectors plan I was doing and then I had to work on my client stuff. Like I literally couldn't take the time off. Like I kind of fucked myself with the schedule.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I feel really bad because I would show up to the studio like all happy, like, yo, let's go. I'm so stoked. Let's record. This is awesome. I love
Aaron's
it.
just like,
And he's just sitting there like,
Please.
tearing up, like, oh,
Dude,
damn.
The Depths of Self, I literally was sobbing, crying, writing half that album. I'm serious, just because
Oh
I was
my
so
God.
it was
Oh,
a crazy
no.
experience for me.
Fuck.
It was crazy.
and I just
Oh.
show up. I'm like, yo, this is sick. Let's go.
Oh my god.
And then for some reason, I wrote an album the next month after that. I didn't have to do that.
Oh,
my
my
god,
fucking-
dude, that's
There's a little
so
funny story to
nuts.
that. So we weren't planning on doing an album until December because we just wanted the end of the year with a big thing. We ended up accidentally writing an album for November with the Depths of Self because we were aiming for an EP and then we had like a bunch of extra time, so we just wrote that. And then for December, we were just gonna write this, you know, big heavy beatdown EP essentially. And I was like in the mindset, like I talked to Aaron multiple times. I was like, hey, like, you know, I'm feeling so good about this year. We can just end with like, you know, I don't even care. It could be like a single. It doesn't matter to me. And then one day he told me, yeah, I wrote a song. I wrote a beatdown song. Can you come in like tomorrow? I was like, sure. I show up and he had an entire fucking album ready for me to record vocals on.
I love doing that kind of shit.
The work
just-
grind
Oh,
is
my God.
crazy.
I showed up to his studio and I walked in. I was like, yo, so we're good to work on that one song? He's like, I have not.
Oh my god.
That is-
So who's doing lyrics?
It's mainly me, but Aaron helps a lot with like structuring and stuff like that. It's kind of like
I feel like we do it together.
both.
We've been doing it together all of last year because we were on such a time crunch. Like we didn't have time for Kenny to like sit on the songs. Kenny would show up to the studio. I'd show him the song and then we'd record it
Yeah,
immediately.
that's why I ask. Like, it seems like that's not the normal process for most
No, it's
people,
not at
right?
all. But it
Yeah.
really works for us. Like I don't think I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't think we would do it the other way. Like it works for us now. I don't know.
Yeah, I literally would never hear the song before, have zero lyrics written or ideas. And I would show up, he'd show me the song, and I'd be like, I feel like this song should be about this. We write lyrics for an hour, and then we record it, and then that's that.
Yeah.
and then we move on to the next one.
I love that hustle though. Like
that's insane.
You get into a routine like that, you can do some crazy shit like that. I bet.
Yeah.
That's
did
one
feel
in a
like
million.
routine.
Yeah,
that's
pushed us
crazy.
A lot in terms of just like just finding things that we've felt like sounded the best. Like we would get stuck in certain parts where like, oh, this feels like really generic, yada yada. We'll just have to figure something else out, and we might come back to it. But it made us like, it put a fire under our ass. Like there wasn't really much time to sit on anything, so I would just record stuff. And there was so many times where like thinking so hard about like what to do, and I'm like, I got it. Press record, and then I just like rip a huge gut, and we're like, boom, done.
I love it though. I mean, I like the hustle because I think we talked about it with our last guest too. But like me and Eric have a bit of our own like kind of hustle too with how we make content, how we do that, and even that like is nothing compared to what y'all are doing. But we still have some of that same mentality to like, we got to get shit out, we got to do this, we got to do that. You know, me and Eric have like 16 different fucking projects together, and just all kinds of other crazy things going on at the same time. But I could not even imagine the scale of using my brain 30 days out the month. Like, y'all.
Yeah, it's one thing. Like anybody can, push out a bunch of shit. Like it is impressive in its own right, but anybody can do that. But the fact that you guys did that fucking every month, insane. But the fact that it's all good is what impresses me the most.
100% was something
it's not just, it's not just content for content's sake. Like it's good shit. It's so fucking consistently good. That's what it boggles my fucking mind. That's why I'm like, you're not human. This is impossible.
I back Eric 100% on this.
Yeah, shit's insane.
The thing for me is we've already talked about it a little bit, is the fact that like you can pick a random EP or album or whatever and hear something completely new. Because when I first heard you guys, I was like, wow, this has this really cool new metal like undertone to it that I really like. I can't remember the name of the song. It's somewhere on my Twitch. I can't remember. But I remember being like, this is really cool. And then like maybe a month later, my mod Dennis was like, hey, check this out from Dead Vectors. And I was like, this is Dead Vectors still? Like, oh shit. And then once you start going down the rabbit hole, you're like, there's a little bit of something for everybody. And what I wanted to kind of navigate towards is like looking at your discography and all the shit you guys have. What is it like after taking you guys like, a couple months off, right? What is it like just to see the reception on your socials, on Spotify, to see the scale? Like your YouTube videos, all of them do really well compared to other bands that are not even putting out a third of this. You know what I mean? Like what's the reception when you guys look at the hard work that you guys are, putting in?
It's honestly like the coolest thing, just because like, I don't know, we were so in it that now we step back and we're like, holy fuck, like that's a lot of shit, dude.
It is a lot of shit.
Well, I'm glad you guys realized that.
Good.
Dude, the craziest part of last year was we would record so much and say like, I don't know, it was June and we're heading into July, and like we finish the month's EP, and then we already start the next one, and like we would release the EP on the last day of the month, and like a few days later we're like, dude, it's been 5 days since we dropped this one. Like it feels like forever.
It does, I don't know why I have such a messed up sense of time.
Dude,
like,
I don't have sense of time anymore.
Me neither.
It was crazy, but it was an absolutely like weird it was so weird, just because I don't even know like where I'm going with this. But if you were asking about like reception and stuff, I think it's like the coolest shit that like we have fans for particular EPs and stuff.
That's cool. Like people like different versions of Dead Vectors. That's like a thing that I don't think a lot of bands experience.
Yeah. Every once in a while on like on the DV page, I'll post a question. And I'll be like, hey, what was your favorite release? And like almost every answer is completely different.
Yeah,
and that's so cool.
That makes me happy.
I've seen comments like, this EP didn't do it for me. I didn't like it that much.
Which is cool.
Yeah, which is cool.
Everyone's got their taste.
Yeah.
If you don't like this, check out the 13 other releases we've done.
But it kind of creates this like cult like thing. So like everybody can be like, oh, I like this EP the most, and you have this fan. And then like if you guys do live shows and all that, you have all of these different people there that probably like all these different, like it's just such a cool community that I don't think I've ever seen or heard of in metal before. Not to this, maybe a band that's been in the game 20 something years, but you guys, since 2019, killing it.
I feel what you're saying, but I definitely think it's like slightly different, because like a lot of bands like have an identity. like they have their sound for like maybe like 2 years and then they switch it up. I feel like we literally have no identity.
Yeah,
That's
like,
yeah.
almost like no identity is a good word.
We did the Distraught Mind, which was like a genty groove,
deathcore,
kind of vibe, and then we went straight to the Hive, which was almost the same but much more high energy. And then like after that, like you can't expect anything from us. Like, you have no idea.
Well, with
And,
your
like,
guys'
I thought it was kind of fun. Like every month, like we would try to think of like new ideas, and like I would go up and be like, "Yo, right after this melodic thing, let's have like this crazy fucking hardcore beatdown thing."
I love
Like
it.
I don't know, we just kind of switched vibes entirely just to like give us new, fresh air to breathe and shit like that. So,
But I think that's your identity though.
Yeah.
Like your identity is kind of that you don't have one specific sound. That's what sets you apart. And it's like you said, Aaron, not a lot of bands experience that because it's just not common. And I think that's like your workflow together, I think caters to that. Like that's how you guys write. You're just fucking on it. A lot of that stuff is impulsive, and that's what makes it so fucking good. I think that's your guys' sound. Is that you have so many sounds.
100%.
It's nuts, man. It's so sick.
I love there's what is it? Chameleon is another one of my favorite ones. I'm good friends with Nick and a lot of the people over at Divisive. I've done some stuff for them. Columbus, their guitarist, is one of my longtime, like we've been friends for 10 something years. Great dude.
Piece of shit, dude.
And when I saw that you guys did that song, I called Columbus, was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? This is cool." Like, I love that they're on that grind and they're hustling to it. Like, I think they're playing with Lorna Shore in June. Wow. I think here in our hometown. And then Zach Ferris and Witness, like that was a really cool song. I love the features because it feels like it's very specific. Like you guys, is there a lot of thought process that goes into picking a feature like that? Like you guys have such a repertoire of like where you want to go with your sound on each EP. Like, so are you trying to find somebody that really caters to that, or are you trying to look for an outlier of sorts? That makes sense.
We usually we cater to like what kind of sound we're going for. With Nick, I loved Divisive, and I hit him up, and I was like fangirling so hard. I was like, please be on this song, and it ended up being Chameleon.
But good, dude.
The other guests that we've had, it's actually kind of just our friends.
Yeah,
like Josh from Sentinels, Sam from Marked Life. They're
I love Josh so
mine.
much. Josh is my I grew up with Josh. If you could believe it. Yeah, he's lived in here. He lived in Memphis forever, and he just recently started. I think he moved. Was it Texas? I don't know. So yeah, and he's been on tour with Sentinels ever since, and I'm so proud of him. I love Josh.
He's the man.
I got fangirl about him too. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Our guests are mainly just kind of like homies. Like Zach was a good friend of mine, so I had him on. And I've been friends with Bobby on like Instagram for a while, and we had like a nice melodic thing. I was like, yo, it'd be crazy if we had her come sing. It all just worked out so well.
I love it. It's cool how you can. Every song that does have a feature, it doesn't feel like it does take away or anything like that. And like I said, you guys picked out some really strong, like the Witness one with Zach. I thought it was from somebody. You said he's just a homie, just a friend that you just threw on there. I thought he was from some other big band. I was like, this shit good.
No, dude. Zach's just my boy, so I asked him to be on the track, and he absolutely killed it.
It's really cool to see. What I was gonna switch into the next is, I haven't seen anything live. Have you guys talked about doing some live stuff too? I love the energy that these live performances really bring. So have you guys thought about it or talked about it in the coming months, years? I want to see y'all live.
About it.
Yeah, we have talked about it. It's difficult because like how we wrote everything, there's no time to actually write it. Like Aaron would just straight up record directly into Pro Tools, and it's not written anywhere. So if we want to play live, we have to learn everything.
Yeah, I have to tab out every song. Like I don't know how to play any of the songs. It's just like one time thought, and then it's just out onto Spotify. Like, if we did play live, I think we'd have the dudes from Pathogen kind of playing with us, Kenny's other band. But I don't know. DV really is just me and Kenny right now, creating the stuff.
I guess like we are DV, and like we've had like some people come and help write like little pieces here and there, but it's mainly just like the two of us. So I don't know if we were to play live, which we have been talking about. It's a long process though.
Yeah, I understand that. That's where like my bread and butter is
so much. Like not knowing the songs and shit.
We'd have to find like a bunch of dudes Like I'm sure the Pathogen guys would do it, but like one of them lives in Colorado now, so
Yeah.
it's a little difficult. But
have you guys gotten a lot of requests for that kind of thing since like you guys have been blowing up? Really?
Like, yeah.
Fucking every day they're like, please come to like this city.
Oh, that's so fucking sick. I
was badass.
Single
geek.
practice, but yes, I will come to your city
just to come hang out. Because that's my bread and butter. I love the community vibe at live shows. I could not talk to any of my friends for a whole year or two, and then we all go to a show, see each other, and have a fucking kick-ass time. And that's where I find the bands that I like the most is I go off energy, I go off the vibe, and who can I swing at harder than any, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I need to be in the throw elbow or two. That's my favorite thing. So I think you guys would definitely, once you guys get the whole thing set up, it's just something I would want to see. I feel like you guys would, some of those sounds, like, again, if you had Nick and y'all played Chameleon live, I would probably cry. It would probably be the most beautiful thing I'd seen in a long time. So heavy.
Well, no. I mean, we're like talking about doing live stuff, but like I said, it's a process. So
yeah.
Maybe
if it means anything,
big maybe.
I do have a set list that I dream of playing live. So
Can we get like the first 2 songs?
Canabo. That's like my favorite right off the bat. Just
that shit hits, dude.
I give myself chills thinking about playing that shit live.
If we played live, it'd probably be mostly like the ass beater kind of heavy songs.
We would come and fuck shit up and go home.
Please.
I don't know, like
let's go.
Although I would want to play like what's it called, War Within, because that
is heavy.
nice.
It had some riffs.
Yeah,
like,
it's got some riffs. It's got some like melodic shit to it.
I don't know. If Dead Vectors did play live, I feel like we could play with like a bunch of different bands, almost play different sets if we did different tours. Like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it depends.
We have so much different music.
Yeah, if we're playing with like melodic bands versus like divisive.
But that would be like,
if we play.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Can you go ahead?
I was just saying, if like we were to play alongside divisive, it would just be like probably like the heaviest shit we could potentially play.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! But that would be the cool thing, though. Is like if you were on a tour with this band and in this band, and then next tour you're on, like you could switch up aggressively and have a whole new like set. It's shit that people don't have right now. It's something that they've had 20 years in.
There's no scarcity of material with you guys.
I love that. Y'all just have to learn it all. Oh my god, I love that kind of thing. And so I guess we could switch gears a little bit. We've been haggling y'all about music. Unless Eric, you still have some other questions you want to ask.
Yeah, I just got some nerdy shit
Get
about
it out,
DAWs
babe.
and plugins and mics and cabs and what kind of fucking VSTs are you using, and all that kind of shit. So you said Pro Tools. That's your DAW.
Yeah, Pro Tools. Yeah.
Ah, you brave soul.
What do you?
I used it once. Fucking spaceship. I hated it. Is it just because it's an industry standard for you and you run this kind of business and it's a little bit more professional, or you just like the layout?
I don't know. I didn't start on Pro Tools. I started like Mixcraft or something like.
The fuck is that?
12 years ago. I don't know. When I first got Pro Tools, I couldn't get sound to come out for a month. So
fuck.
That sounds like my experience with Pro Tools. Yeah,
dude, I didn't know what I was doing, but I kind of forced myself. I learned it. Yeah, Pro Tools. I love Pro Tools.
Okay. All right. Fair. Can't say I share that sentiment, but
that's all right.
Fair. So when you're recording guitars, do you use? Oh, I know Neural DSP is kind of the hot shit right now. But I've had good experiences with Positive Grid, Bias, and a lot of different VSTs for gaining that guitar tone. Do you use VSTs, or do you like more? You know, do you mic up a cab? Like what are you doing?
So I mostly use the amp sims, like the VSTs.
Right.
Sometimes I will do my cab. I think on one of the EPs last year, I used the real amp. Only one. The other ones were all amp sims.
It was voidless, right?
Voidless EP. I used my PV6505 like
sounded thick.
amp. But I like STL Tone Hub. I don't know if you know about that one.
I do. I actually have that as well. Yeah, I don't mess around with it.
That's the best
much,
one.
but
I think it's my favorite.
You think so?
But different EPs, I've done different stuff. I used the Neural DSP Omega plugin on, I think, the Disconnected EP.
Okay.
I would say, I think all of the other ones are STL Tone Hub.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, maybe I'm hearing things, but are you using Digidrops, like the pedals?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. I want one of those so bad, but I'm hearing.
Pedal.
Yeah.
I have the Electro Harmonics Pitchfork pedal.
Okay.
It's a pitch pedal, but it has a mix knob, so I can blend it with the original signal.
No shit.
That's cool.
So a lot of like Dead Vector stuff is, I blend the original signal with one note away, so everything is dissonant. It's like 50-50 blend of the main note
that's
and then the one next to it.
I kind
That's
of
a lot of
nasty.
I understood some
like
of
the
that. Yes. I don't know
I was
anything.
like, I understood a
I
little
kind
bit
of get
of that.
what you mean with that because I've heard the songs. That makes a lot of sense. That's
Literally
cool as fuck.
all of Colossal, the entire album is dissonant. Every single note
Every
in the
note,
entire album
all
is
of
dissonant.
all of Wax City is like that. I think all of the Aggressor is like that. It just adds this like creepy Dead Vector-y characteristic.
When you use that on like the entire like song or like EP or whatever, it doesn't necessarily sound like dissonance anymore unless you're playing like higher notes.
Yeah.
It just adds like this really cool like distorted thickness to it. Like
It's not as like clear as playing the original note, but it adds this cool
it's
like an undertone.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't
It's
know.
like,
really sick.
yeah.
But sometimes I'll do that and then use the Digitech whammy to like bring it down like another octave. Like
It's so gross.
I
I don't
swear.
know. I
love
get
it.
crazy with these. That would be really tough for me to do live with Dead Vectors, like all these different pedal changes for different songs. Like that would kind of fuck me.
Yeah, you'd have to program that shit, and that would take
Yeah, I think so.
forever.
Yeah.
You'd
That
have your
or
work
you
cut
could-
out for you.
I was gonna say maybe because I've seen some bands they will rewrite some of the stuff live and kind of interpret it differently. I've seen some bands do that, kind of like they'll adapt to a live audience, but still kind of get the message across as far as the music. I've seen some bands do it.
Yeah.
I think Northlane is probably a good example. A lot of their early stuff, hearing it on record versus seeing them live the few times I saw him before, what's his name, Anthony, before he left, they had a different sound for a few songs. So I was like, this doesn't entirely sound like the original. But I mean, again, it's a matter of like just presence, and you guys could definitely. I just want to see y'all live. I'm trying to buy tickets today.
Joe's just in it. He needs this.
Shows are coming back, so I'm trying to get out of the damn
Yeah.
house.
Let me see if I have any other.
Every time I go to a show, I get so fucking hyped that I hit up Aaron. I'm like, Aaron, we have to do live shit. Like, we got to start working on this right now. And then it just
Me.
comes back to like, oh, let's write another entire like thing down.
So is Pathogen playing live shows right now, Kenny?
No, Pathogen in the moment, like one of our guitarists is he's in Colorado, so
Right.
like I don't know, right now we're working on the next album, which I don't know if that's a secret or not. So there you go.
Heard it here first, folks. Slam this.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just in like the writing process, and it takes a fucking long time for Pathogen shit. Everything about it's wildly different from Dead Vectors. Like DV, we're like, all right, let's shit out a riff and just fucking rip it, dude. And then Pathogen, we're like, all right, let's write like this particular style riff for like a month, and then like
Yes,
feel
Pathogens. I produce Pathogen. Like I record them.
It took
It's-
5
it's-
years to make Null Space.
It's the completely opposite process of Dead Vectors. Dead Vectors is let me write the song as fast as I can and record it as fast as I can. Pathogen is just like let's sit on this for as long as we can until it's great.
Well, that's really cool though, because you're getting stimulated in all these different areas. Then,
True.
Like you're having all of those voids as a musician or just a creative person filled from both of these just polar opposite workflows. That's fucking cool too, man. Like you can't ask for more than that.
Very true. I think that's
You
plays
have
to
the
y'all's
ability
credit
to
more.
do it both ways, yeah. And it's like I said, I think the coolest thing for me is just watching or listening to you tell me about your guys' workflow. Just being able to have that connection and work so well with each other. That's something that a lot of people overlook and don't really appreciate because it's really difficult to find. And I think a lot of people don't understand that.
We worked perfectly together. We like practically never butt heads, and if we ever do, we figure that shit out in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
I love that.
We definitely disagree on shit sometimes, but
Of course, you're
Certain things where we're,
humans,
like,
yeah.
Totally
I
feeling
think
like
no, you're
something
aliens.
else, and like we talk about it. The only thing that we actually like really butt heads about is art.
oh my god, I fucking hate your art.
Throwing fists, bro.
Okay, so now we're getting somewhere.
Yes, the
Tell
meat
me
of the
about this.
podcast.
And I think Kenny doesn't like my like lack of color. I like all art to be like
He likes
metal looking, like
Skulls, black,
skulls, black,
dark, grit, grunge, and I'm
So
like,
wait.
have
Same.
a pink cover.
So wait,
Kenny's
like,
like, let's do all this cool stuff, and I'm like, doesn't look the way I want. And
Yeah.
so wait.
We have
All right.
different visual art desires.
So like you're more like
musically-
colossal and you're more like depth of self. Like
I'm-
it's
I'm-
like are you
I'm-
Well, I
color
made
palettes
Depth
for
of
like
Self.
the
the art that we've agreed on, I like your art.
Yeah.
Just to throw that out there.
The ones that we've agreed on.
There's a few covers I've made that like we kind of got really pissed at each other about.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's like it's pretty chill. But
Yeah.
we connect 100% musically. Like there's
Yeah.
practically never anything that's a problem in
No.
terms of like writing or like deciding what we want to do. And I fold pretty easily. So like if he's like, I kind of like this, and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling more like this, and you're like, no, I'm like, all right, whatever.
I think when we first started doing this project, I think I was less likely to like not use my idea, but as we've done this more, I've
You're like, this is how it is.
been more open with Kenny. Like Kenny has a lot of riffs on some of this stuff also. Like
Yeah, I dabble. I write a little bit here and there, but it's like 99% Aaron for sure.
So if the only friction that you guys have is just visually, I think you're good.
art.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's pretty much only visual stuff, and it's only like half of it. There's only been a couple things where we like argue, and there's been a few pieces where like you're like, I feel like it's missing something, and then we figure something out.
Yeah.
And that's not a problem at all. But
Yeah.
there have been the Enraged EP. I had this one art for it, and I was like so set on it, and I was so fucking pissed at Aaron because he hated it with his guts.
I would never use it.
Yeah, but like,
Oh,
I don't care. I would tell Kenny. I can't like.
yeah, you're like, this does not represent the music at all.
There's-
You son of a bitch! It looks exactly what I like imagined. It gets pretty hectic, but only for visual shit.
I mean, you guys
That's
couldn't
something.
be a complete perfect package. There has to be a little banter.
Right.
There's gotta. Otherwise, I'd be like, this is not real.
Yeah, that's like the only sign so far that I've seen that they might be human, just a little bit. I don't think it's mostly fucking alien, but there might be a little
think
humanity in there.
If we disagreed musically, I don't think what we do would work.
There's
Sure.
Yeah,
a
no.
few things that were totally feeling opposite things, but we figure that shit out so quick.
Yeah.
It's only happened like a handful of times at most. Like it's you. I usually show up and I'm like in love with whatever you do because it's fucking crazy. So I'm like, this is wild. What if we do this? And you're like, that's a good idea. And
Yeah.
stuff like
I
that.
try to be open about it. I don't get defensive.
Yeah. There's
That's
no room for it in music. I feel like it's just like vibes.
It's hard not to get defensive if you create something and like someone critiques it.
it's
Yeah.
really
Like, if I
personal.
spend-
Yeah.
If I spend like all day writing a track or something, and then Kenny shows up, hears it for the first time, and he's like, I don't like this one section. I'm just like, oh. But as time went on, I've been like more detached and just open to like whatever the best song is.
Sure. And one of the coolest things about this setup too is like there's not a whole lot of cooks in the kitchen with this. And I think that's what a lot of bands struggle with is so much
yeah.
input. Like
Yeah.
the fact that it just comes down to
thrive
you
off
two.
that.
Yeah.
We
that's
brought
huge.
in because I technically brought the Pathogen guys into Dead Vector, so they were like part of the project for a minute. And the Paralyzer EP, we were writing that, and the intro to one of the songs was written by another guy, and we brought him over, and the rest of the Pathogen guys over. So there's 5 dudes sitting there, and we're trying to write this song, and we couldn't get halfway through it before
Yeah.
we were like, yeah, dude, this way too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like it's much better if it's either just Aaron or I'm there, or like it's much better that way.
That's I
Fuck
mean,
the other
and,
guys,
That
they
makes
don't
more
deserve it.
sense.
so if you guys back to the live thing, just real quick, Joe. sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Like if you guys were to do that, would you just have, like 3 or 4 of your buddies, they would be the ones playing instruments with you guys, but not necessarily a part of Dead Vectors and the writing process and things like that? Would it just be I don't want to say stand-in, because that just seems mean.
I
But
guess that's like the right term for it.
Yeah.
We are our Dead Vectors, and then like we got some buddies that help us.
Yeah, I guess like session musicians for a live
Right.
setting. I guess that's what
Okay.
I would call it.
The people are pretty cool about it too. Like I imagine, like they love the music and they love the style. So I'm sure that there's no, oh man, I got to go do this show with these guys, or I feel like
Yeah.
the people that are involved, because the music kind of translates. I mean, if you got the help and you got the people that would be there, I feel like they seem like they'd be cool if you had Pathogen do it.
I'm sure doing what you do, Aaron, too, like working with different musicians all the time. Like, to me, I've experienced 2 different types. Like, there's the people who enjoy the creative process much more than playing shows or anything like that. And then there's people who hate the studio.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm more like yourself. But it seems to be, especially in this genre, there's those 2 types of people. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it would necessarily be a bad thing to, like you said, have a session type musician playing with you guys, because a lot of the times that's just what people want. They don't want to be a part of the creative process. They just want to fucking play live shows, go hard, and that's it.
A lot of my work as a hired songwriter are for bands or musicians who just want to play. Like they don't want to create, and then they hire me to create it for them, and they just go play. Like it's fun for them.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it. That's the name of the game.
No, I mean, it's just
and you getting paid.
Different kinds of people.
Right.
For sure. Yeah.
I wanted to harp on one last thing, and then we can geek out and talk about other shit if y'all want to. The music videos, man. I figured out what video it was. It was My Happy Place. That was the one I originally reacted to. It was a banger. And y'all had a music video for Chameleon as well. And I was gonna ask, like, have you guys talked about doing more stuff like that? Or because I always love good music videos with, you know, either high energy or good storytelling, or, you know, just really good cinematography. I think is a big plus just for the, you know, viewing pleasure. But have you guys talked about doing more stuff like that, or what was it like working on the last couple of music videos?
Yeah, a suggestion too, or a request. Kenny's calves must be in the next music video.
Absolutely.
A shot of Kenny's fucking tree stumps, bro. Just have that be the opener. Let's go.
At them right now.
Pan out.
They're out right now. They're just hanging.
Let's go.
Yeah. We're totally down to like do more music videos and whatnot. I'm actually like a camera guy. I did pretty much the entirety of the Chameleon music video myself.
Yeah, Kenny shot it, edited, did all that stuff.
The only thing I didn't do on that video was like the wide shot of me. My guitarist Christian actually just recorded that for me. But like everything else, I put it together, and it took like a decent chunk of time. But that was my first music video I ever did.
Was that with like a big, like, you know, studio style camera, or did you? I know some people that do.
Did you use the Canon 80D for that one?
Yeah, it's my Canon. It worked out perfectly. It came out exactly how I wanted. Like I had a vision, like in terms of like the meaning behind Chameleon and shit like that. Like I wanted it to be like you see us, but you can't see us, and like it's consistently changing.
It is a fucking sick ass concept.
Beautiful to look at too.
I was super stoked with how that came out, and My Happy Place was actually shot by Sam from Marked Life.
Oh wow!
He was a homie. He came over and hooked us up with that video, and I think it turned out pretty sick. That was actually shot in the same exact location as Chameleon.
Wow! I was gonna say I like the color palette in that video a lot. Like the orange and the yellows were just pleasing to look at.
Yeah, we wanted something a little different from like just dark like the Chameleon music video, so we went with that, and it was shot entirely different because Sam's style is way different than mine. We did want to do a music video for Ill Effect, but like at that point in time, we hadn't done anything for like 2 weeks, and we were getting so antsy, so we just fucking put out the song. I have a bunch of music video ideas that I want to do for Dead Vectors. I'm just waiting until there's like a opportune moment. I want to put out. Don't quote me. I want to do like at least 3 or 4 music videos this year.
I love it. And there's still a lot of the year left. We still got summers rolling through. Oh man. Yeah. And you guys are up north, right? I don't want to say specifically unless y'all don't mind, but I know you guys are up north. I imagine there's a lot of really cool scenic style places that you guys could go and shoot stuff, because I've been out there before and it looks cool. Everywhere I drive.
This is my first time chilling at Aaron's new studio, and he showed me around the whole place. And in the basement, there's this crazy fucking big ass cement room. Yeah. And like as soon as I saw it, I was like, "That's a music video right there." Like
that's a must.
Ideas. Like we're doing this.
Oh man, just start hanging up weird shit dangling from the ceiling and just make it creepy.
I just remembered this question. It's kind of off topic, but do you guys have a relationship with Slam Worldwide? Because that's where you're putting out your videos, right?
Yeah.
Or
some
most
of them,
your releases are through Slam Worldwide.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your relationship with them like, or do you have something set up, or you just
email them and then pay them and then upload it?
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That's how that works. I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Yeah, you email them, you send them a track or a video or whatever. You're like, hey, can you post this on this date? And he's like, here's my opening dates or like my opening dates, and you figure it out, and then bada bing, bada boom, you've released on Slam Worldwide.
Are they expensive?
Nice.
Asking for a friend.
40.
It was like $50,
something like that.
Well, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all. Yeah.
That's not bad. Yeah, we've also released on Beheading the Traitor, that YouTube channel. I feel like not all our styles work for Slam Worldwide, so I don't know if any of them really do. It's just like a good outlet.
It's so funny how pissed off people get when we post on Slam. They're like, "This isn't fucking Slam. What is this bullshit?"
Dude, most of the shit that's on there isn't fucking Slam.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen any, because I've been like peeking as we've been talking, and like again, the response is so cool. One comment says this band is unmatched. They fucking slap in all caps.
That's awesome.
Definitely the most underrated band I listen to. Kenny's vocals are unreal. Let's do another one.
Rock on, brother, man.
Another
It's the
banger.
fucking
I saw
stash,
this
bro. It
band.
gives them special powers.
What do you say? He said another banger. This band
Yeah.
cannot do any wrong. Let's see some touring.
Awesome.
Yes. God damn it.
Joe's adamant. He wants this bad.
that was what's his name? Brian Ryder. Shout out Brian Ryder, whoever commented on the Slam Worldwide video. But yeah, I'd love seeing this because we talked about doing this podcast and trying to get more bands on here, and we didn't want to try to chase big names and like that because obviously it'd be really hard to do. We're still a small growing podcast, so like whatever. But we wanted to focus on the bands that are boots on the ground, that are fucking working in small venues or putting out music and doing stuff, and it's just really cool to see you guys on here and just fucking it up, really, just putting in this work. And now that I know the scale of it, I'm on this corner forever. I'm
Sweet,
dead
man.
team Dead Vectors.
Appreciate that a lot.
That's what's up.
That's awesome, man.
Cool beans.
Hell yeah.
Do you have anything else geeky you would like to ask Eric? I'm trying to let you get it
I
out.
probably do, and I'll remember in like 20 minutes and be like,
You're gonna be very upset with yourself. No.
yeah.
So aside from all of the awesome music, I like to make sure everybody knows you guys are, like Eric was talking about earlier, normal human beings. What do you guys like to do for fun outside of this crazy genre?
I'm still not convinced.
Shut the fuck up.
What do I like to do?
You work out.
I pretty much just like lift weights and then hang out with my cats and my girlfriend.
Oh, hell yeah. How many cats do you have?
Two cats.
I've got 2 cats, 2 dogs. I feel you.
Nice.
One of them's hiding in
mine-
here and I just don't know where.
Mine is
One of
the
them-
cats, dude, and your aura, which just seems nice and calm and collected. Minus all that, I think you and I might be my doppelganger. We do all the same shit.
Let's go, dude.
Let's fucking get it.
Just trying to go get yoked in the gym real quick, Eric.
I identify with this man.
Let's go.
What the fuck you
Hell
talking
yeah.
So I'm sorry for interrupting. I had to say that. I'm like, he has like a similar workflow. He
Yeah.
likes the same kind of music. He's into all this fucking gear and shit. He does a lot of the writing. He does like this is my guy. He's my fucking guy. And then
I thought I was your guy. What happened to that?
it was nice while it lasted. I got a new guy.
Kenny, you
Right.
single?
Oh,
I don't believe it.
What about
I
you,
don't
Kenny?
believe
What's a hobby that you like? I know you've been playing Apex, but is it just the gaming?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say just because like I was so used to last year being like chaotic schedule wise, where I was always working on shit that I didn't really do much else. I mean, like I would come home, maybe play video games or whatnot. I don't play video games that often, but I do a lot of my own photography and videography and shit.
Mhm.
And I'm also spending like a lot of time now at work. Like spring and summer and fall are the busy season. I work in like live production, so like
Yeah.
I do lots of shows for like, I don't know, like comedians or just like, I don't know, famous people or I don't know. I've worked with like National Geographic. I've worked with like Joe Biden. I've worked with like Steve Martin and shit.
Hell
You
yeah.
work with Biden?
Yeah, I worked with Joe Biden. He asked me if I knew about his memes.
You met him? Wow.
That's
Out my
cool.
ass,
Oh, I
dude.
bet, dude. I
Yeah.
fucking bet.
I wasn't.
Do you know about my memes?
They literally walked me into the bathroom and like to watch me pee to make sure I wasn't doing anything weird.
That makes
Oh
sense.
my god.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I do a lot of like live production shit. So anything like where there's like an event that requires video or lights or something like that, like I do a lot of work like
Do you
that.
work as
Yeah,
a stagehand?
No, not necessarily stagehand. I'm more of like the people that work the actual show. So I'll be like
Oh.
a lead cameraman or a director of a show or something like that.
I've done
So-
stuff like that before here locally. They usually will have me on as a stagehand, and I've got a few people that my best friend, his dad does pyro for a lot of the stuff that over here. So I've worked pyro.
That's dope.
I've done all that
Cool.
shit too, and I hate it, but I feel you.
That's dope, dude.
What is it? Load in, load out. I have to do all that shit. The
Oh,
muddy
yeah, you
stuff. I
can't
hate
escape
it.
it.
I hate it.
You can't escape it,
I'll be
dude.
half asleep at 10 o'clock at night. Like, hey, come on, time to load up everything. Fuck you guys.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
load up the truck.
I hate that shit.
And you always strap it down and say, that ain't going nowhere.
Oh my fucking god. They pay good, but God, I hate doing it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I love me personally. I'm kind of in that same boat. I do all this shit all the time, and then I'm a dad. But my recreational stuff, I like to go skate, and my wife is trying to get me into
Nice.
painting. I've been, not the Deadpool. There we go. I painted that. I've been trying to learn how to paint
cool.
more. I
Nice,
read
man.
books. I've been trying to give my brain a rest from all these computer screens, but
Yeah, that's smart. It's hard to like take a break.
I'm trying to learn how to zen out and get better with just not being
Yeah.
glued to my chair. But you know, I'm getting there. But I love that. I love that you guys are normal people. See, they're human, Eric. You can calm down.
I still don't believe it.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Well, we're reaching the end of it. Eric, do you have anything that you want to recommend or ask any other questions before we get ready to do our little promo?
I don't think so. Just to say thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys doing this, and it's been pretty fucking fantastic getting to know you, Kenny, over the past couple of weeks. It's been great.
It's funny to watch.
This is a very like calm and collected, and I haven't seen a whole lot of this Kenny before.
Whoa.
So this is,
bro.
I'm seeing a whole nother side of you.
I love it.
You just wait till we get back in the game, and he's like, "Man, let's fucking go."
I swear to God.
I love it, dude. I love it. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Do you need
and
to
I can't wait till
stream
we
and
can do that
have
again.
like Kenny on camera off in the corner just so people like a little Kenny rage cam? That's what you need. You just need him off to the
just seeing
side.
him on my screen, like what the fuck he does in game it's perfect. I don't need any more than that. It's so good.
Have to watch some more of it.
Man.
Do you guys want to promote anything? Y'all got some stuff y'all want to tease? Maybe whatever. I don't know. Whatever you guys feeling like. You know, where can they find you? What can they find?
Instagram Dead Vectors. My Instagram is called Iron Audio. That's my songwriting business.
Shout out Iron
That's about
Audio.
it though.
Yeah,
I need to give that a follow
I guess,
right now.
Listen to my other project, Pathogen. We have an album called A Null Space. It's very proggy, very crazy. There's more of that coming, and yeah, I don't know what else to promote. If you need band pictures or music videos or shit, hit me up.
Absolutely.
thing.
I'll have you guys send Eric some of the links and stuff like that. I'll make sure we put it in our bios and everything so everybody can see it. We'll shout this out on all of our socials as well. It's awesome having you guys over. I love sitting down and, like I said, just talking to people about the genre of music I fucking love. So you guys are awesome, and I love your work ethic. I have no doubt in my mind in the next year or two I'll get to see you guys live, and it'll be fucking lit.
Nice.
We'll beat Kenny's ass.
Yo, bro, I'm coming for you. These cats.
I am all
into the
about
next
speed, speed and stage dives. You're not gonna catch me.
Nice.
Now,
Sick, dude.
thank you guys again for coming to hang out with us. You guys, a quick
Absolutely.
reminder: you can come watch me and Eric stream. We stream all the fucking time. Twitch.tv/Superhero Joe. Ekis Cult, come hang out with us, and shout out Dead Vectors on all socials. Iron Audio, and make sure you check out Kenny's photography. We'll have links to all that in the bio. Thank you guys for hanging out, and thank you guys for listening and watching. Eric, play the outro.
Okay.